What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? Evening, everybody. Welcome to our wonderful live today. My name is Drew Romeo, as you guys already know, or some of you don't know, I am Drew Romeo. Welcome. This is our live here for Marketer Magic. We're going to get popping today. This live is going to be pretty lit. We have our special guest today, which I'll be bringing on very, very shortly. But as usual, I hope you guys are safe. You guys are doing quarantine things very safely. And as we're going to be talking, the topic today is called his 13K pivot. He's going to show you how this special guest, his name is Jim, for those of you guys who know him, he's active in the group. And for the guys who don't, this is going to be your opportunity to learn about him. This is one of my favorite hats called Bangers. I went to this place down in, I believe it was in Austin, Texas, when we went for a conference. I decided to rock it today. So guys, really quickly, first things first, I always like to show off some of our, about our, folks that are in our community that are rocking it, that are killing it. One of them is definitely going to be our special guest. So right now, first things first is going to be someone that you guys saw last week. This is Yvette. Normally she crushed it with over $55,000 in one single month that she was able to rake in as far as recurring commissions with her agency. And it's been insane. Also, we have Joe, who crushed it with, having a client so fast, literally on the first night that he got this, and he didn't even finish watching all of the material to get everything that he needed in order to kind of, pretty much get this up and running. And already he was able to crush a client already from that. And so he got a client super fast. And then you guys haven't known already, this is one of the famous Jim Fitzpatrick, who was able to crush landing down a client, offered 25% discount. You got to do whatever you got to do to close that deal, right? For a 6-month sign on for $7,500 for 6 months. And so he's going to be explaining his journey a bit. We're going to go down deep into the, his mind and some of his thought processes from being a, agency owner to having clients, talking about the wins, the losses, and how he pivoted to now having, $13,000+ type deals. And so we're going to show you and explain to you all of that. And I want you guys to obviously drop down any questions as I speak, as I'm introducing, for you guys to ask your questions, because our goal is to go through every single one on the live. All right. And that way you can get your answers and then ask a follow-up question in case you have another one. Okay. If you guys are new here, you guys don't know, clicking this button, if you're on mobile, you'll see get all live notifications. The best way to do that is by clicking that button right there. It'll notify you anytime we go live automatically. And if you're on desktop, you can still find the bell icon. If you watch this live, it's going to be a bell icon located somewhere on your screen. Click that and you'll be notified as well. For those of you guys who don't know as well, this is Kevin David's Unfair Advantage book. We give it away every single live, and we announce the winners at the end of every single live. Now, for those of you guys asking, how do I win this book? Pretty easy, okay? This book is really a dive into the mind of Kevin David, how he was able to build his digital empire, and pretty much breaking down some of the mental processes, and not only that, the strategies he's used to grow to the point where he's at, right? And this is what it is. You just got to give this post a like where you're watching from right now. You're going to type in hashtag live if you're watching live with us right now. Type in hashtag replay if you're watching on the replay after we're done with this. And then also asking a question, getting engaged with the community. It keeps everybody just engaged and moving and just gives good vibes. And so that's how you're entered to win. That is all. For those of you guys who don't know, I actually have my copy here. So if you guys haven't grabbed your copy, be sure to do so. It's awesome. Awesome read for those of you guys who don't have it. And for those of you guys who did actually purchase the book or actually have a copy, drop a comment down below about how that book is or what your experience was with that book. In my opinion, it's very well written. All right. So the flow today is going to be easy. We're going to get Jim on here shortly, and then we're going to show a demo about Marketer Magic, which is some of the tools that Jim himself has personally used, I myself personally use, and many of the people you saw the testimonials about actually still use to bring in new clients and how they've used those tools to pretty much exponentially grow their agency. And so we're going to explain all of that, and then we'll open up for questions. So you got to stay tuned if you want your questions answered towards the end. All right. And our goal is to go on for an hour. All right. So without further ado, let me see if there's any other comments here that are popping. I know this from us earlier. Brandon was up. I know Jim's on. Yvette was good. Jim. Nina. Tawana was gone. Let me see. What's it? Jerry. What's going on? I appreciate your work, David. It's a good thing to see someone sharing skills that he has to help entrepreneurs grow for sure. Awesome, guys. Well, I hope you guys are here to get a good one. Right now, I'm going to bring on my main man of the hour. His name is Mr. Jim Fitzpatrick. Jim, how you doing, buddy?
What's up? Not too bad, Drew. How's it going?
I'm doing well, man. I hope everything's well with you and your household. I know quarantine's been tough on many people, but you seem to be persevering pretty well.
Yes, sir. 2 little kids kind of drive it, make it hard. So I will tell everybody if I get stormed on by my kids, my wife is at the grocery store right now, so I apologize in advance, but we'll try to keep them at bay.
And such is life, bro. I totally get it. We always try to keep these lives really casual so we understand life comes in, and that's what it is all about anyway, right? So also just to let you guys know, sometimes I've had some like weird glitches, but Jim, if any reason like anything glitches or I freeze, I will be back on. I just have to do like a quick reset, but I'll be back in as if nothing happened. All right.
I'm feeling for you, brother.
Just letting everybody know that. All right. All right. So in the title, the description, you guys should be able to see a link, by the way. It's going to be a free giveaway. It's going to be a course offering that Kevin David is giving away for free. Make sure you click that link. I know there's 60 of you on right now. That link's going to give you free access to how to start your social media marketing business. If you guys want to get started, learn the skills you need to learn, how to practice, and then reach out to clients. So that way you can learn really good skills because you're going to be representing their business in a way that you can then help them to find new clients. And it's going to break that down for you very simply. All right. So Jim, really quickly, man, let the people know who don't know you a little bit about your background, because we brought you in before, but I know some people who were not familiar with your past. So Yep. Tell us about your journey with digital marketing, how you came to this point now you're at.
Yeah. So I found the program in January. Prior to that, hadn't really had any digital marketing experience. I had done a couple of, MLMs with, little success. And, one day I was on Facebook and I just was scrolling down. I saw a post or one of Kevin David's ads. I clicked on it. And it was for the MAP program, actually. That was the first ad that I saw. And, I'd always been looking for kind of a map or a guideline on how to do this. I knew I had the drive and I knew I had, the want to, but I didn't always have the time necessarily to go in and learn everything from scratch. So when I found the MAP program, it was like, it just made sense. It was everything laid out. Do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. And I got into the headspace that Kevin talked about, right from the beginning. And, like I said in my last live, my circumstances at the time, my wife was away, I had the kids, I was working, I was doing all this. And, I just dove in. I was doing it at night for as many hours as I could. And then, going to work in the morning. So it was just one of those things. I knew that there was something out there that I could make work for myself. I just hadn't found it yet. I had tried everything, tried a bunch of different business opportunities, but I believed in the online structure. I believed that there was a better way to do it. And, when I found MAP and then Marketing Magic, it was just 2 tools that went hand in hand and gave you everything that you need to succeed, from, the marketing platform, many leads, you name it, even to the Facebook group, which I really attribute to a lot of my fast success at the beginning was just in how available everybody was. The information was right there. And that's what kind of made me feel like I wanted to be involved with the group right away and just kind of be there for other people that were in a similar situation to me.
Awesome, man. And I remember talking to you too, like right when you were like, super excited. I saw your very pumped post, had to reached out and got you on. And one of the things that really, resonated with you on was the energy that you had to just keep going, right? How you pulled the trigger, and ever since you pulled that trigger while your wife was away, what have you, whatever the situation was, you took a bet on yourself at some point. And I think there's never been more of an important time to take a bet on yourself than what we're currently seeing right now in the economy. Everything is very evident that we're obviously in like historical, period in time, but everybody's living through right now with this pandemic. But I think it's very similar to a glass half full, glass half empty, philosophy that we have to take, approach towards that. And so for those who see the glass half full, I've seen them persevere, like you yourself and a lot of others, Yvette, Tracy, Tamiko, a lot of people that I've seen who come on here live constantly. and then also the way you kept trying to find other opportunities using the skills you already know, which we're going to get into really, really shortly. Now, talking about some of the wins, I know you had a bunch of wins, right? Let's talk about some of the wins, some of the losses if you had, and then we'll talk about the pivot. So don't mention that yet. So let's talk about the wins and losses,
Sure.
and we can talk about.
Yeah, so I was fortunate enough to land a client pretty quickly. The first night I started prospecting, within a half hour of sending out emails, I had a call back. Like I said in the last live, totally caught me off guard. I wasn't ready for it. I hadn't really, I wasn't at that point where I was comfortable and fluid. I had no background with Facebook pixels and all that stuff. So, I got the program. I think it was a Tuesday or a Wednesday. I started my prospecting on a Sunday, and I wasn't ready. So when I got that call, it was like everything just kind of came together. I got through it. We set up the follow-up call, which, guys, that's hugely important when you guys are doing this. Try not to do anything on that first call. Get yourself prepared. Huge advice. But I got through the first call on the Sunday, set up the follow-up call for Wednesday, gave myself the time to, learn what I needed to learn because I didn't know it yet. And, was able to close that client. I had, I think, 4 clients by 28 days, or I forget the exact days now. But it was 4 clients within a month. And then, I got up to 6 clients, shortly thereafter that, and everything was going really well. Those were my wins, doing really well there. Everything, that Kevin David laid out for me, I did. I didn't stray from what he told us to do, and it worked. And, my losses came with COVID-19, really. I had a couple of my clients that were unsure of, where things were going, especially my real estate agents. I at this point, I've lost both of them. So I do have some other clients that I'm still working with. A couple of them are on here now. So what's up, Brian? So, it was just one of those things. Clients are going to come and go. You have to keep the ball rolling. You can't get comfortable.
Yeah.
And one thing that I've been doing since the beginning is I vowed to never just get stuck in one niche or routine or whatever. I wanted to get my first client, and I did that in real estate, and my first 2 clients were real estate agents. But throughout, I was just learning the processes, learning everything that I could, and then, I expanded. I landed my Pure Vita Solar, Pure Vita Enterprises, still with them now, and they've presented me with some other opportunities. So I know that's where we're going next. But guys, the losses are going to happen. This isn't, this is a very fluid business. We're dealing with small business owners. They're dealing with their own things. So when money's tight, this might be one of the things that they cut. So the more open you are to different opportunities, and the more you're looking to expand your role and what you do, the more opportunity you're going to give yourself in a downturn like this. And Marketer Magic, Kevin David, all the programs that he has out there, Marketer Magic itself, provide you with the tools and the knowledge base that you need to be able to function, not just on the Facebook pixel and Facebook ads, but you can branch this out. And I know, Drew, that's what we're going to talk about, but this is a foundation that will let you go wherever you need to make your business successful. You need to get over 2 things. You need to get over the fear of failure. You need to be, stop worrying about, do I know enough to do this? Like I said on my last live, and I'll say it again, you know more than the people that you're trying to help. And that's all you need. That's all you need. You don't need to know everything inside and out. When I got my first phone call, I knew nothing. I could not have told you how to set up a Facebook pixel at that moment. Here come my kids. Sorry, guys. All right. I'll be out in a few minutes.
Oh, good. So,
you want to say hi since you're in here? Come say hello. You're talking to a bunch of people now. So,
how you doing? Welcome to the live.
Deal with working at home. You got the kids. You got life. And you can't let those things set you back either. This is, they're why I'm doing this, and you know what I mean. So I gotta deal with this. All right, guys, can you let me finish up now? Say hi and bye.
Hi, hi guys.
No, listen, just change it because she's scared. Change it. Oh, thank you.
And guys, this is why this is another thing that I found about Pat too. Like this is like the true sense of the world about being life, right? He literally has like 2 kids, wife, household, job, and he had all that going on and was still able to close 4 clients. You heard his story about how he was able to win some of them, and then due to the pandemic, things changed. Obviously, one of the industries that he first started out with got hit the hardest, or one of the hardest, and so you got to understand, if you're dealing with the companies like Jim said, they have their own books that they have to keep up. They have their own cash flow. So them paying you also takes away from their cash flow as well. And if they can't sustain that, right, your best thing to do is to think about how you can pivot. Now, on that note, because we're going to touch back on a few other things too that we mentioned about the agency game and how it's kind of built, and mindset you need to have with that. With your pivot, because I know a lot of people, when they lose a client, right, one of the biggest things that it's hard to, and you mentioned it was fear, right? The fear of loss, the fear of getting a client or knowing what to say. You got over all of that. But not only that, after your losses, that's where a lot of people say, oh crap, like this was my niche of choice. I got my first payment and I won't be able to get the next one. And it's tough for them, So now, how would you talk about your mindset with the pivot? What did you like? What was your thought process with saying, okay, I lost it and I'm just going to go find another opportunity? Like, what was your thought process with that?
I mean, I really think it was just, I've had this mindset, like there's no other option type of thing, that if I wasn't willing to pivot and move in another direction, I'm going back to the things that I'm trying to move forward from. I'm trying to get out of my 9-to-5. I'm trying to do these things, and that was my goal when I purchased Market of Magic and Map. So to me, I learned all these things. I was able to implement right away. I got very comfortable, with the support and everything that's there for us. So I really didn't think twice about it, honestly. I just kind of kept pushing. I kept prospecting. My pivot, I can't say that I predicted where it was going to go. I just thought I was going to keep looking for new clients, and I was trying to find, other niches to get into for the, the same kind of things that we were doing with real estate and stuff. But, it ended up evolving into something else, and, still related. Like many leads is coming in huge for what I'm doing now. And, so it's still related, and I can take all the skills and knowledge that I learned and implement it. And, it's just, what this is an invaluable skill set, especially in today's world where, a lot of people are catching up to the things that we already know, and just because we started out in real estate and we started out, wanting to do pixel retargeting and Facebook ads, just through learning all that stuff, you learn a ton of other things. And honestly, the biggest thing is the people that you meet. I've made it a point to help as many people as I can, because you never know the next person that's going to come up with the next big idea or get the next big breaking opportunity. And I would rather be a guy that helped that guy, and maybe he'll think about me later type of thing, So, network with everyone, people have opportunities. You can't give up, because if you give up, you're going backwards, and you obviously started this for a reason.
Exactly. And it's all a relationship game, right? With running your agency, how you enter the relationship with your customers or your clients, and how you separate. That's very, very important, right? And how you leave their lasting impressions. Like, they'll forget everything else, but how you made them feel will be the lasting thing. And that's from Maya Angelou, right? And so you've embodied that. And I want to implore you guys to do the same thing. One of the things I've started doing too is if something didn't work out, right? If I have a client, a discovery call or whatever, and I'm sitting down, I'm talking to them, and they're like, yeah, I don't think this is for me. I can't afford it. I said, well, that's perfectly fine. Here's what I'll do for you. I'm gonna draft up a summary of some of the things that I found that maybe you might like to implement yourself in your business, and this may help you. And so you can take it and run with it. This is just free. This is no charge at all. I just want to thank you for your time and wanted to help in any way that I can. When you do that, that reciprocity, the law of reciprocity will kick in. They're going to remember you like, wow, this is the guy who went the extra mile, who did the extra rep for me. And I'm going to reach back out to him as soon as I have the cash flow again, because we will get through this, right, Jim?
Absolutely. Yeah. You always want to keep the doors open. You don't want to, even if you get a rude interaction with somebody, whatever, just rise above it. Do what's right for that person. And like I said, when an opportunity arises and you've done right by somebody, they'll think of you when it comes around, especially when it comes to working with somebody. If they know they can trust you and you did the right thing, then, they'll come back.
100%. So now still talking about your pivot, what did you pivot to? What did your pivot look like? Now we talked about your mindset already. Now let's talk about, and you also mentioned opportunity as well for the public, but let's talk about your pivot that actually happened. And then just obviously releasing information you're allowed to.
Sure. So one of my clients, Ryan McNamara with Pure Vita Solar, Ryan's actually watching. So what's up, bud? He sent me a random text message one day and said, "Hey, I have a guy that has 20 million of these surgical masks. Do you think you can help me sell them online?" Sure. So, I posted in the Market of Magic group asking if anybody, what's the best way to do this? And again, something that I didn't really have any experience in on selling products and this and that, but I know the background on how to get things done. Now, through the group, I've met. Baby. Sorry.
Yeah. I love talking to Jim because he's such the perfect example of how being dad and business owner is one of the
dude, you can't turn it off. So but so I just I started figuring out how to find people. I use many leads, and I started looking up medical supply companies, things just things along those lines. And I just started making phone calls, emails. I know with my agency at the beginning, I said I had never made any cold calls to prospects. I've probably made 200 to 300 now trying to sell these masks. So like I said, you just got to be open to new things, trying new strategies, whatever it is. But yeah, so they approached me with this to try to help them sell these masks. And again, this is, they're a sales organization, but they were focused on solar energy and solar panels. So, kind of out of the box and unexpected for them. But again, this COVID thing happened and opportunity changes and we get the shift of wealth and all that stuff. And just unexpected things happen. They reached out, they were given an opportunity. They reached out to me, and now, now we're working on becoming partners together in something bigger and better for everybody.
And it all worked out because, and this came up because they first started off as a client, right?
Correct. They were, I was running ads for them on Facebook for their solar company in Masson, Rhode Island.
And here's the thing. I don't believe, and I truly believe this, I don't believe that they would have extended that offer to you if you weren't a decent guy who had, good business etiquette, who was trustworthy. You know what I mean? These are the things you guys got to embody. And these are things that we can't teach, right? We can't teach that. You have to learn that. You have to learn the business etiquette. You have to learn how to talk to people. One of the main books, and I know Kevin said it too, but it's one of my first ones I read 10 years ago, is How to Win Friends and Influence People is one to be your best way and how to deal with folks, right? And I know there may be other book suggestions as well. So you guys can drop them in the comments. If you guys have read any cool books that have helped you with your personal growth, do that. But Jim was presented with another opportunity because he was able to nurture, right, the relationship that he had with his current clients and allowing them to see that this is the type of business partner I am. And they felt comfortable enough to share that information with him to allow him to open up a different opportunity, which was actually his pivot, right? Or now he has his 1 foot in the water and 1 foot in the sand. And so now he can control both. And so this is why I wanted for Jim to talk about his story. And for those of you guys who are going through losses, who had wins and losses, I'm talking about in client terms, I want you guys to understand the mindset that goes into that. He won some, he lost some, but he wasn't finished there. He was able to pivot and make it happen for himself, for him to now have 13K and even more with his new opportunity. Did you mention that there was an opportunity as well for the folks? I know we were talking back a little bit about it. You want to talk to them about it now, or?
Yeah. So given the pivot as we're talking about, and us kind of focusing in the masks and selling these medical products, Pure Vita is one of their focuses. Obviously, is still their solar. So, we were kind of kicking around the idea of potentially working with some people in the Market of Magic group, potentially, if they're interested in just kind of helping us get the word out and kind of work out some ways to drive business for Pura Vida on the solar end, while we're kind of focusing on other opportunities. Give you an opportunity to kind of, work with me through that and kind of point you in how we can make this work for everybody. And, so that's definitely something that we'd like to put out there. They're looking to grow their business, and, they've kind of changed some things. So now they're not just in Mass and Rhode Island. I think they're in, you get the number, Ryan, if you can comment, but I think they're in something over like 30 states now. So, the opportunity is huge, and they're looking to do bigger and better things, and they wanted me to extend, an opportunity to the people in this group. So if you're interested, feel free to PM me, and we can kind of give you some details or walk you through, what this could entail and how we can make it work for everybody.
Awesome, man. I appreciate you doing that, because I know we talked about it, in the background, but if you guys, again, it's a big opportunity. If you guys are not having any luck with like getting clients, but you have the skill and everything, make sure that you take full opportunity or the full blown, advantage of this. PM Jim Fitzpatrick about this. I'm going to make this banner disappear shortly. So that way you guys can get in contact with him after the live, but I just want to show you his information there quickly. If you guys are interested, again, and don't forget to click on the link above. Kevin is giving away the free course in there. If you're having any troubles at all whatsoever, just go ahead and comment in the comment section, and we can have our folks here in the background, some of our team helpers, to help you guys get through and fix any problems you may be having with the link, okay? But take advantage of that. So now you have two opportunities. You can get free course from Kevin that's going to give you just about everything you need to know about social media marketing, which is just a course. Marketing Magic is the software that is used from people like Jim and I who have agencies that we run to find leads, to promote our business and what our skills are to help them out, all right? So that's number one. And number two. Together. All right. So we talked about your pivot, which was awesome. Thank you for doing that. And we talked about some of your wins or losses. We talked about your journey a bit. So what are the things that you learned as a new agency owner that you're like, wow, never do that again, or I should change that? What's your thought process of some of the things you've learned?
So I would say some of the. All right, listen, I will come as soon as I'm done, okay? If you let me finish, we'll be done soon. Yeah, real quick, have Billy watching. Sorry. So yeah, I mean, really everything was a learning experience for me, because I didn't really have any background coming in. But I would say something that I wasn't doing right away, that once I kind of started doing it, definitely helped me kind of get a grasp on things, was just using, any type of tracking tools. Like if you're not using the spreadsheet format that Kevin David recommends in the training to track, your 3, 5, 7 day follow-ups, all that stuff, like all that stuff is vital for you to keep things straight. Because once you get into it and you're on the grind and, you sent, 500, 1,000 emails, like you need to be able to keep that stuff intact. And that's something that I didn't do right away, just because that's how I am. But once I realized how big this was going to get, I definitely started. And then, the email trackers, like any tool that you can use to keep your information straight, organized. But I mean, really, Market of Magic made it, I don't want to say easy, because it's a lot of work, but it's, they made it streamlined. It just made it so that, you just go to one place for everything you need. And
exactly. And I think that's the prime part of that. And soon, guys, we'll be transitioning to show you guys who are not familiar with Market of Magic or don't know what it is. I'm going to show you a few of the tools that, Jim and I personally use. And the rest, and there's plenty of, videos where we talk about, I do a full length, explanation from top to bottom about all the tools. I want to focus on some of the really primary tools that you guys can use that really are used to get your clients. All the rest are to kind of like supplement and help you very powerfully, though, give you an angle or position when you're targeting some of your clients, right? Or potential clients. So that's cool. So some of the things I want to talk about as well is what I've learned is you got to understand the playing field, right? The agency playing field, guys. So for those of you guys just tuning in, is that you always need to keep your pipeline filled, right? You always need to keep it full. So that way, whatever you are, whenever you are doing prospecting, it has to be a continual process. Keeping it full will allow you to always have potential clients to talk to speak to. So you have to develop a system that's going to allow you to constantly being able to reach out to those people. Okay. That's number one, because who knew that COVID would happen? Who knew that clients would drop off? Nobody knows these things. But you're also in one of the best industries and best businesses, in my opinion. All right. Because you're able to pivot on a drop of a hat. Like easily. You can say you started off with real estate, just like Jim did, but then really quickly you can pivot and say, all right, well, I can look into solar, just like Jim did, and he was able to do that because of the nature of the business, right? Remember what your goal is. I don't know what services you guys are offering, but if you guys are in the lead generation business where you're offering to help find more customers for the business, which is what most businesses want, you can find leads for just about any business. You just have to find out where the customers are living. What are they looking for? What are some of the pain points they're having? So that way you can better assist them to contact and reach out to those customers. Okay. So niching down, not entirely necessary in the beginning at all. Okay. The way generally, and I'm going to keep this general because this is going to be a separate live in itself, is if you start off, just pick any niche that you have some type of in, like Jim started with real estate because you found out that's what Kevin was talking about, right?
Yeah, I did what he said.
He's literally, I remember I talked, he said, I just followed the list exactly how he said it. And he was able to land his clients. Now, guys, it doesn't matter what niche you start in, right? You can always say, okay, well, I learned digital marketing, like how to reach out to them, how to land a discovery call, how to do those things. You're going to learn. It's the same process in the beginning for every single niche. What changes is the needs of those businesses, the needs of those companies, the needs of the customers. So that way you can attract them through the pain points, right? When you're running Facebook ads for them, say, hey, you have a leaky toilet. If you're charging, plumbers, if your leaky toilet is your roof leaking, you can talk about roofers, right? And so what I've done too, another cool hack that I've done is if I'm not sure if an industry is actually doing well or is on the rise, I would go to Google Trends, and I'll show you guys some of the searches I've done. Google Trends to see what keywords are popping, right? What keywords are trending, so you can start tackling that kind of industry. Okay, so you can use that as well too. That's going to help you to see what industries are actually kind of growing in that direction. All right, so you can actually tackle them now. Let's see. When you started out with your niche, because I know there's a couple questions we're going to hit before we do the demo. When you started out with your niche, Jim, was there anything that made you feel like, I made a bad choice, I need to switch? Or what was your game plan with, sticking with the real estate niche and how to serve them? Like, how did you do your customer research and such?
So I like I said, I picked that niche because that's kind of where Kevin was at. And, there was a ton of real estate agents in my area. So I figured I had a big pool to go with. So I really just, I reached out to agents that I knew and started asking questions about, like, what are their struggles? What are their wins? Kind of like this conversation, wins, losses, get to know their business.
Yeah.
But I knew from the beginning, I wasn't going to limit myself just to one. I wanted to be, with anything, the more versatile you are, the more opportunities you have, so I never wanted to say that I was just going to do real estate, and I never wanted to say that I was going to give up on real estate. It just happened, that I landed 2 agents in the first, week or whatever it was. So now at this point, real estate in my area is kind of struggling. Like I said, I lost both of my real estate agents. One of them is actually taking everything that I taught her and doing it and still killing it for herself, which, I'm proud of her, and that kind of makes me feel good too. And the other one just kind of went into reservation mode because she didn't know what was going to happen. And
Yeah.
So you can't predict those things, but if you open yourself up to different opportunities, and something that I was thinking of, Drew, I get a lot of conversations about, like, oh, what services do you offer? And do you know how to build websites? All right. I don't know how to build a website. I don't know how to do SEO. Like, I don't know. I can't make a logo. But guess what? In Marketing Magic, I have a manual who I send people for logos now, because I found him in the group. He made me mine. I know people in the group that can build websites. I know Vera. I would go to Vera for SEO. So, like, I will offer any service, because just because I can't do it, I have the access to people that can.
Exactly.
So you aren't limited, and that's what I'm trying to get through to people when I have these conversations. You're not limited to what you know. You have the access to what everyone in the group or everybody in the industry knows. So you could throw anything at me. I might not even know the words that you're saying, but I'm going to find someone who does, and we can offer it.
Yeah.
So that's the way you have to think, especially right now, where you don't know what opportunities coming next. You can't say no to anything. You have to just, how do I do it? And you can figure it out.
Cool, man. I love your thought process. And guys, you drop a 1 in the comment section if you guys are actually in the Marketer Magic group right now. If you're in the Marketer Magic group, drop a 1. All right. If you're not, drop a 2. Then we're gonna have to send you a link to join in if you guys haven't joined yet, because it's one of the things that you have to experience to know, right? Once you sign up for Marketer Magic, you'll be or MAP program, you'll be introduced to the group. You guys should join it. There's a wealth of information there. People who know how to do skills you don't know, and you may have skills that they don't know how to do. So you guys can work together, okay? And so do that. So that way we know who's in and who's not, and we can start to try to show you guys how to get into the group, so you guys can learn from other people who have the skills that you may be missing to add as a service or something like that, right? So be mindful of that. So let's see what other questions we have here, Jim, if that's okay with you. Is it cool? We go through questions real quick.
Love it.
All right, awesome, man. So let's see here. We have a lot of people hyped up in here. I love it. See. Chataka says, what's up? Just got my LLC set up. Congratulations on that. I know a lot of people get hung up on that, but I'm glad you got that out of the way. Jerry says, welcome to Fitzpatrick. Looking forward to learning more. Okay, don't forget, you guys can reach out to him as well through the PMing him on Facebook. Nina says, is it the same as MAP and Marketer Magic? So MAP is the marketer agency program, right? And that's what you went through, right, Jim?
Yeah, that was what I found that first. I actually got into Marketer Magic after I bought the MAP program. So they just kind of go hand in hand.
Gotcha. Yeah. And go hand in. So it's a software. Marketer Magic is a software. MAP is the course that teaches you the skills on not only how to use just the software, but how to actually, run an agency, how to pretty much start looking out for clients and stuff like that. So wonderful way to get in.
As the proposals, like MAP has the tool, MAP has the A to Z. This is what you need to do when you need to do it. And Marketer Magic is the tools to make it happen.
Nina says, thank you for your answer. Looks like we answered it. Everyone's commenting about your kids. So cute. Tiwan says, did you set up a business before you started? And how did you explain to your clients you were just starting out?
So great question. So no, I did not start a business. I didn't have a website. I still don't have a website. Still don't. So I started a Facebook business page. I actually still haven't even got my LLC. I'm in the process of, like I said, working something out. So that'll be changing relatively soon. But I was very honest with my clients. When my first prospect reached out to me, my first night of prospecting, like I said, I had no idea. I was totally shocked. I wasn't expecting a phone call right away. And I was honest with her. I said, listen, I have some ideas on how I can help you. I went over that she didn't have a pixel on her site. I took the basics to get me through that call. And then I dedicated myself to learning the rest. But transparency is everything, especially, I also wasn't going for, the CEO of a Fortune 500 company when I first started out. I was going for people that I knew were struggling with the basics, Facebook, like these weren't the greatest websites and all that stuff. So I knew I wasn't dealing with someone that was super technical and all that. So I didn't have anything. I basically went on the program, ran it that way, got a phone call, told her how nervous I was, told her that, I was just starting out, but I know I can help her. And, and I presented myself well. I was open and honest with her. And it just, I rescheduled the call. I told her to give me some time to kind of work out a proposal based on some questions that I had for her to answer. I had her answer some questions in an email, and I used that to build the proposal, and we were off.
Amazing, man. Love it. I mean, just all part of action. Temi says, hola, what's going on, Temi? I seen you, brother. Always be the bigger man. We were talking about how to, for folks who, don't sign on with you, being the bigger man is still like helping them out anyway. Any last second words? People saying beautiful babies. So cute. And a truly multitasking daddy. That's true, Debbie. Jerry has a question. He says, I want to know how long can it take for me to learn running Facebook ads? This is Jerry.
So, I mean, it really just depends on you. I mean, I learned through, YouTube, going on other, like when I started in real estate, when I started with the solar company, I went on their competitors' Facebook pages and went into their page transparency and found ads that they were running, saw what worked, what didn't. YouTube has the videos on there. Kevin David has an amazing program on Facebook ads. So, I mean, it's hard to say. Everybody learns at a different speed. Everybody has their own strengths and weaknesses. But, the information is there. And like Facebook ads, I mean, even still for me now, they're trial and error kind of thing. You know what I mean? I'm always split testing. I'm always, taking the good and the bad from different ads that I see. It's an acquired skill, but there's tons of information and walkthroughs and everything out there on how to do it. And then you just got to kind of make it everything that you do, you want to make true to yourself, because people will see through if you're trying to be something that you're not, So when you're crafting a Facebook ad, when you're building your business page, like, you need to be the brand behind it. You need to be what's coming through in that ad. And that makes you more relatable to your prospects, to your clients, to their customers. Like my real estate agents used to have me go on their Facebook page and do lives. Like it was just, that's just the way I presented myself. Like, if you're not comfortable doing it, this is something that we need to do. You need to have live on your page. You don't want to do it. We slowly built them up to doing it and all that, but you got to be true to you. And, if you want to learn ads, the knowledge is out there. Like I said, Kevin David has a great program. YouTube has a bunch of stuff. Like,
yeah. So you have a lot of resources, and Jerry, and like what Jim is also alluding to as well is, like, don't forget the Jim mentality, right? If you don't know something, Google it now. Google will have the answer. Many great minds don't know and remember everything, right? So if Jim didn't know something, he literally Googled and like, all right, I figured it out. And that's the mentality you have to have in order for it to work for you. Okay. Elijah Cook says, I love it. Congrats. Yeah, man. We love it too. And Michael Sanchez says, depends on you. Yeah, everybody learns at a different pace. She follows up with a question though. She says, can I be able to get a client from the UK when I am at South Africa, and how can I approach them? How would you answer that?
So definitely. So there's actually a guy in the Market of Magic group. His name is Emmanuel. He's from Nigeria, and he approached me about, doing my logos and stuff, and I hired him. So, I mean, it's really just the way you present yourself. My biggest recommendation, no matter where you are, who you're trying to deal with, the more you know about the person that you're approaching, the better chance you have. So if you're going after a business, look them up. If do as much research. Drew, we were talking the other day. One of the clients that we found in this new deal that we have going on, we actually found on Xbox Live.
I remember that.
So it's one of those things. They're out there. They're everywhere. You just have to be open. You have to be relatable. You have to get comfortable with yourself and presenting to people. And like, I was terrible at it right away. I didn't.
Like, I don't know if you guys really heard, like, you guys understand that Jim found one of his contacts through Xbox Live. He had me laughing for like straight 5 minutes. Like, I couldn't understand like how that happens. It's just you don't know how you're going to come across these clients, and he was able to come across it through a gaming platform with Xbox. So I thought that was really, really important for you guys to learn too, man. That was pretty crazy. Elijah Cook says, Marketing Magic is the best for those of you guys who don't have it. And yeah, I mean, it just pretty puts everything into one. And one of the things I want to say, somebody mentioned a couple lives ago, like, what about D7? Well, D7 only offers one service, which is pretty much like finding leads in a particular state and area, pretty much what Mini Leads does. But that's all you're paying for, right? That's all you get out of it. You can't send emails. You can't personalize anything. You can't, remove background images. You can't, do push boost. You can't do any of that. But with Marketer Magic, it's literally, half of the cost, and you're able to do all of this with this all in one, right? So I think it's just really, really important for you guys to understand that there are other tools. There will always be other tools, but you have to find one that has the best bang for your buck, number one, and one that actually just works, right? It doesn't have to be the prettiest or whatever. It just has to work, right? So I know there's a few more questions down there, guys. Continue to drop your questions. I'm going to go quickly and share my screen, if that's cool with you, Pat, if you want to share anything else in the meantime. One second. Let me see if this will let me do it.
You calling me Pat again?
I'm sorry, my bad, Jim. Go ahead, Jim. You know what it is?
Fitzpatrick, I get it all the time. No worries.
Yeah, man. I always get that thrown off, and I watch Power, so every time I always want to call you James St. Patrick for some reason. So anyway, all right. Let me move this comment here, guys, really quickly, and then both Jim and I use, this is Marketer Magic, by the way. I'm going to show you the tools that Jim and I both use so you guys can know exactly what you're getting. So Marketer Magic, once you sign in, you log in. I like to give you a perfect way to think about it. It's like, imagine like this whole website is your toolbox, and every single one of these blocks are tools within your toolbox to use to either, help you with, getting a client, maintaining a client, or sharing this with your client so they could purchase it from you, and you can get a perpetual payment in the back end as well, right? So number one is Live Pick. I showed an example last time what it is, and pretty much is what you could do is personalize emails that you send out to people like this. You can say, hey, Yvette, welcome, or hey, John, welcome, or hey, Jim, what's going on? This blank sheet, I just Googled, man holding whiteboard, and I used it, and I was able to type whatever I wanted out of it, right? And I was able to do this for our last guest, which was Yvette. And so you guys can see that there. So it's pretty cool to have that for your email. Email verifier, really quick, like you can verify emails. If you guys get a bunch of emails, what you don't want to have happen is when you send out a bunch of emails, you can get a bunch of bouncing, right? A bouncing from invalid emails that just don't go through. So these are some of the things that I've ran just to run tests in Marketer Magic, and it was spot on. And less emails have bounced for me, right? And now I can take out all the invalid emails and only keep the good ones, because it's very important to keep your account health on point. All right. When it comes to that Work Hub, if you guys have running agencies, you have people, you want to keep track of projects that you guys are doing. This is some of the stuff that you're going to be able to do, is keep track of some of the work that they're doing. Right. And they also get to see how much money they've earned based on whatever you agreed to pay them. It's kind of very similar to Upwork, but now you have it all in one central hub to keep track of everything. This is the behemoth we've been talking about. This is what Jim has used. This is what Yvette has used. This is what I've used. This is what many people that I've showed you the testimonials have used right here. And this is called Mini Leads. Many people say, oh, is it like D7? Very similar to D7 for sure. But you have, for me, in my opinion, a little bit more versatility, because you can see past campaigns that you've run, and you can do a quick research on some of the things you're interested in. Like, for example, if I wanted to look at, and I did this already before, I want to show you guys again. Let's see what some of the ones I've done in the past, right? Let's say not real estate, right? Real estate is kind of tough in certain areas. Certain areas are hurting more than others. But let's say if you were interested in this is just an example, right? I want to say real estate in, I don't know, let's say real estate agents, and then you want to look at for in Miami, right? Or I don't know, Raleigh. Let's do Raleigh, North Carolina. Let's see if we have anybody in Raleigh, okay? And real estate agents, you guys in North Carolina, we'll see how many leads we can get. I try to stick to capitals, because what Marketer Magic does, it'll go from the capital and it'll spread out and kind of find other nearby cities, right? So in Raleigh, North Carolina, believe it or not, it's pretty massive. Look at this. They have over 3,000, right, agents that you can get in contact with. And again, I'm just using real estate agents, right? It could be whatever niche you guys are in, whatever the industry you choose to go after. But this is what you get, right? Well, it would take you hours to Google and find out. You can find out in minutes, literally by going down a list, and you can look at down a list of 100 people, right? This is one of the very few tools I'm going to be going deep on, so pay attention here, guys. Okay, you have the name of the realtor, you have the name of the company, whatever they used, right? You have their website, you have access to their email, you have access to their phone number. If you guys want to cold call, you have access to their address. And here is very important, where it says Facebook pixel, it lets you know whether or not they have a Facebook pixel. Let me make this full screen so you guys can see. Look, it lets you know whether they have a Facebook pixel, which is very important because that's usually what a lot of people use as like the lowest hanging fruit to get in contact with partners that you say you don't know if they're interested. You can say, hey, look, you may not be interested in services, or hey, by the way, I was on your website. I noticed that you don't have a Facebook pixel, and you can find that out by downloading a Pixel Helper, which is a Chrome extension, which is free. You guys can get that. The Pixel Helper will allow you to go through this list and see whether or not they have a pixel on their website or not. Then you let them know that they don't have one. And then what happens is you can say, hey, I can help you to do this for free. And then you can get rocking and rolling. What usually happens is they'll be like, well, okay, now that the pixel is installed, what do I do next? And you can say, well, what my company does, we manage this part of the business for people who need help with this, right? Because they won't know how to manage the pixel. You'll have the skills through the course to manage the pixel accordingly. You'll know how to run the ads, the retargeting ads. And so you start off with the pixel and then you transition to how your company actually helps by using the pixel and by running retargeting campaigns and by creating new ads, and the knowledge you gain from just being a marketer by learning everything you need to learn, which is why one of the good things about this quarantine is that you have you time where you can help, find out more about, running ads and perfecting your skills in Facebook ads. And then also now providing another service aside from installing a pixel, but how to manage and run the pixel for them. So this is very powerful. All right. Mini-Me is very similar to Bitly. If you guys want to shorten links that are ugly and keep track of everything that you've done. I have a lot of ugly links to keep tracks of all the clicks that have happened. You can use deep links when you send ugly links from like YouTube and other platforms. This pretty much allows them to go shortcut straight into the app and not the browser version of YouTube or the browser version of Facebook. It goes straight to the app of Facebook or Instagram or whatever. And deep links will pick that up for you, right? Background trimmer is cool if you want to remove a background of something. I use these images. They had like a blue background for me when I used it, and I removed it by, literally 2 clicks. It automatically pointed out all the colors that I did not want, traced me out, and did this for me automatically, which I thought was pretty cool. Email Hunter is cool if you guys are looking for larger companies. You guys want to get in contact with somebody directly, maybe somebody who's, important, let's say, right? If I clicked on, let's say Blue Text, right? Blue Text is another marketing agency that's in the area. So let's click on them. You get their title, you get their name, you get their email address. You get here, see David Dyke, software security, you get the marketing communications guy, you get the content marketing guy, and you can contact them directly. You get the management solutions. So let's say if you want to get in contact with the vice president or CEO, you can bypass the gatekeeper, which a lot of people have struggles with, right? Talking to the front desk person who doesn't know anything, but they're going to just say no because they feel uncomfortable for asking to speak to the main person, right? So you can do your due diligence, right? This is one of the ways to get in contact is through email, or you even contact them through LinkedIn, or you can also contact them through Facebook, right? Because a lot of times you can find them on Facebook. So, and the other thing too is Push Boost. Push Boost is if you guys are on anywhere in the, if their client allows you to send notifications, it will say, am I allowed to send notifications to you through the browser? So meaning that they don't have to be on your website in order for you to send a message to them. Just like when Facebook, you get a like from Facebook and says somebody liked your photo. You don't have to worry about that, because what happens is they'll get a message across their screen if they're on Chrome, and Chrome will notify them of your message saying, hey, we have a flash sale going on in our store, or hey, by the way, you signed up for this, don't miss out on this opportunity. And you can not only do this with clients to get clients into your agency, but you can also run this for your clients on their website so that they can push notifications that they want to. So you have to realize how many tools that you guys can use at your disposal with Marketer Magic, and how quickly you can become, successful by just using some of the tools I just showed you here, right? And it's just very, very, very powerful. And Jim has shared his story about how that's helped him. Many Leads was the one he used and what I use mostly. And all the others are very strong supplementals to help me get really unique angles on how to get new clients. So I hope that was helpful for you guys. I'm gonna see if there's any more questions so we can start wrapping this up, guys, because we are about 6:25. I'm going to be putting, some information down here. Jim, is there anything else about your journey, anything that you like to share before we get into the final few questions? If you guys have questions, drop them now, by the way.
I think you guys kind of know me by now. I'm pretty open about everything, but Yeah, no, guys, just keep at it. Like I said, opportunities present themselves. Again, if you're looking to learn or looking for an opportunity right now, the company that I'm partnering up with definitely has some opportunities that they're willing to share with you guys, and I'd be happy to work with you through it and get you up, get you learning, get you making some money while everybody's going through all this craziness.
100%. I just flashed your information right there really quickly while I'm finding the next question here for you. So I see a lot of ones. I see a couple twos. We're going to get to you guys very shortly. So the next question that we have, she says, Elijah, Marketer Magic. Everyone's popping. Jerry says, thank you for your answer. Okay, by the way.
Welcome, Jerry.
And here we have from Siranish. Siranish says, what was the next step, right? From scratch, when you start, what skills you start to learn to move forward or you recommend? I also landed contract and now I start learning, but your experience sharing is very much appreciated. You start to install the pixel and then run ads. You start Facebook ads, you start Google ads. What exact tools you use for Marketer Magic and what you use for your clients, if any. Where are you starting to learn Facebook ads? It's a loaded question. But
so where I started from scratch, I guess, was, I just kind of assessed what my client was looking for. So with her, we started obviously with the pixel retargeting. I set up I walked her through. She actually set up the pixel for herself. I did a Loom video on how to do it, and she went through and did it. And after the pixel was on there for a couple of weeks, we realized that she wasn't getting any traffic. So a retargeting ad wasn't possible. So we started with some traffic driving ads. She had a giveaway. They had an event that they were doing at the time. She had a giveaway to kind of market herself. So I did start with a Facebook ad for her, but it wasn't a retargeting ad. We ended up pulling a lot of traffic from that ad. She got, I think, 276 leads from it, and then another over 2,000 pixel events, which we then turned into retargeting, further down the line. But yeah, I would, the biggest, you're starting from scratch and you're trying to figure out how to get it going. Facebook ads is a great place to start. And again, you don't have to, there's plenty of ads out there that people are offering, or you can go on the websites, go on to competitors' sites and find out what they're doing, customize their ads. But you don't have to reinvent the wheel all the time. And that's kind of what I like about this business, is that so much is out there online. There's so much help. But yeah, Facebook ads is huge. I mean, it really depends on your client need. Like I said, if somebody tells you they need something, I wouldn't tell them no. Even if you don't know how to do it, you have no idea, get in the group, send me a message. Like, we'll find somebody that knows how to do what you need. And then, you kind of learn it from there as you go. And then maybe on the next client, you can offer that service. But, just get on YouTube, watch videos. If a question comes up that you don't know the answer to, go find the answer to it. If there's a particular skill that interests you, like ClickFunnels had always been a thing for me. I had always wanted to get into it, never had a reason why. I ended up learning it and implementing it for my first client. And now I'm a ClickFunnels user. So, now I'm doing business to business product sales for other companies. Like, the tools are there. So I don't know if there's a right or wrong answer to that. I would just say, don't be afraid to learn anything. Don't be afraid to take on a challenge. If somebody tells you they have a need, meet it, and if you can't do it, we can help you find somebody that can. Maybe.
And so another thing surrounding us too as well is, like, when you're starting, I see in the background. When you're starting, and like Jim said, he went on YouTube and he learned. One of the first places I've learned from about Facebook ads and how to run it. Kevin has a video, I think it has like over 2 million views now, that says how to learn Facebook ads from start to finish, becoming from beginner to expert. And he has a newer version of that that's a lot shorter. The first one was like an hour and a half long. The second one is probably like 30 minutes long or something like that, but it's enough for you to get started because it's not difficult. It's just you have to learn how the actual Facebook platform works, right? For you to actually share the information with your clients to know how it will benefit them. That's like literally one of the things you have to know how to do. right? And if you don't know how to do it, when you do price your services, one of the things you can do is to also find somebody either in the group, or you can go in other groups and ask, does anybody know how to run ads? Like, anybody run Facebook ads like for a living? Because there's people who do that. And you can also, have them run the ads for you, and you share some of the profit with them on the back end. Or you can say, hey, I charge 400, 500, whatever amount they charge, and they'll run the ads for you. You get to look at proof to make sure that they are saying what they're doing is correct. And you can try them out for a month, right? If it doesn't work out, you can ask to see if somebody else can run the ads for you. In the meantime, while you have somebody who already knows how to do that, you can bring the client in, say you run ads for them, and you have somebody who's already on your team that can run the ads for you, right? Sometimes you can use some of the proof that they have, because now they're part of your team, to show your clients and say, these are the type of results that the person on my team can get you. And so now you can use that. That'll kind of take away the edge of them being worried. They kind of take the first step, because for any business owner, any money leaving them, they're going to want to know why. So you have to show them, why is it worth it to go with you than anybody else? Okay. So keep that in mind. And so you just have to know that when you get paid, part of that's going to go to the person who's running or fulfilling the actual activity for you. But that frees up your time now to go find more clients to fill up your agency. And also, right, you can take now more time without having to worry about running ads for your clients, because now you have somebody that you paid to do it for you. Now you can take your time to take it easy and figure out how to do it. Ask them questions. The person you hired to do the ads, ask them questions about how they're doing their job, how they're doing it well, if you're doing it right, and that'll help you get further along. So hope that helps as well. I wonder, did we answer everything in this question? This was loaded. I like this one. She said, what exact tools that you use for marketing magic? We went through it. Jim, you can start off with that.
So my big ones at first were Many Leads, Mini Me, Deep Links. I'm into Email Hunter now, because that's kind of where I need to go with my new opportunity. But yeah, I mean, you can get started in everything you need with Many Leads.
Yep.
You know what I mean? That is the program. Everything else is just, there are things that help you look more professional, kind of help you stand out from people using other platforms.
Yeah.
But run your business and be successful, Many Leads is it.
Awesome. Yeah. And I use Many Leads, and I use Email Verifier and Mini Links. Those are the three that I use to help me to clean up my list that I get from Many Leads, making sure they're valid. And then I use Mini Links to send out shortened videos, if I do videos for them, to try to get them to see my face and see that I'm actually a real person, blah, blah, right? Talk about she says, what about learning Facebook ads? And we talked about that. So hope that helps answer your question, Surrounders, because we're going to move on to the next one. Lisa says, love Jim's mind frame. Yes, I do too. Jim has always been on point. Jim's a go-getter. He's super inspiring. Elijah says, do you have different prices for different services? How do you separate services?
Yeah, so I mean, we can kind of take some liberties here. Like, I've talked to people, the standard retargeting, again, Kevin David lays it out for you. Those are tried and true tested prices. You'll hear about people charging less or people charging more, but if it's a retargeting with some traffic driving ads and some consultation on their social media pages, like, yeah, that's $1,000 a month, and you're not overwhelming yourself. You're still giving yourself some time to learn and do other things, prospecting and all that. If you're taking on everything for a client, managing their social media, doing it, like I've had some people ask me about that. Guys, those are things that are going to completely tie up your time. So if you're only doing $1,000 a month for that, you're missing out, because that takes away from prospecting. That takes away from the important things that you need to be doing to build your business. So if you have somebody that wants you to build their website, monitor their website, like all that stuff, you need to be charging a full-time salary for that.
Yeah, 100%.
$75,000 a year. That's what you need to charge, because I
can't hear you. No, you're on mute.
Gotta click the mute button. The expectations are going to be so high on you from a client like that you need to be okay with that potentially being your only client. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's really up to you. Do what you need to do to get an account, but don't leave yourself to a point where you don't have any other opportunities. You know, if you're starting out, the 1,000 a month client is probably good for now, and then that way you can get comfortable with that. Do some Facebook ads, trial and error. You know what I mean? And then you kind of build your services from there. But you know, don't leave money on the table, but don't sell yourself. You know what I mean? Don't sell yourself.
Yeah. And in my last live, I talked about this too. So now we're wrapping the time at 6:35. So really quickly, we have only a very few more questions left, and then we can wrap this up, guys. Really quickly, understand that don't short yourself. You know, when it comes to presenting yourself in the business meeting, when you're meeting up with your potential clients, let them know. Because what I found is that the less that someone is willing to pay, like let's say if you get a $500 client, if it's your first client, sure, go ahead, get the experience, get your hands dirty, ask your questions, come into the group, ask them, and we're going to help you get through your first experience of dealing with a client. On the second and third and fourth client, when you start to get clients back to back, you guys want to be able to make sure that you're able to charge more, because what happens is those who charge less, those clients end up being more of a pain because they'll ask questions and they're going to ask more of your time for less money, right? Because they're going to feel like, well, I'm already paying $500, not knowing that you have clients who are already willing to pay you $2,000 a month or already paying you $2,000 a month. And so you can kindly let them know, like, hey, our services have shifted a bit and we are, you know, taking on some clients with larger, you know, businesses. So, you know, we're gonna have to end this here. You can come up with ways once you get comfortable to let them go before they let you go or what have you. But in the beginning, just to get experience, I would do your very best to get no less than 1,000 in case you want to pay someone to kind of run stuff for you in the background, and you can at least have some profit. And then also you have to tack on ad spend. That's going to be on the company themselves. So a total, it'll be $1,500, $500 will be going to ad spend, and the rest can be dispersed however you want. And Kevin talks about that in the course, you know, having the $1,000 being the pretty much baseline for starting. Okay, so keep that in mind. Lisa says, I appreciate your transparency. Awesome. Elijah says, should I have my own business page?
Facebook business page. I mean, I would say, yeah, you do want to have some way for, you know, clients to interact. You can build a following on there. You know, it's just, you do want to have some visibility. Like I said, I haven't invested in a website yet. I don't know how to build one. That's probably why. But the business page was something that was quick and easy. You can link it to your personal page and start building a following on there. But you do want to have some type of footprint, especially if you're claiming, you know, you're offering these social media services to people. You know, and that's kind of how I spun it when people ask me why I don't have a website. Well, it's like, to me, websites are a thing of the past. I do everything from my Facebook page. We're going to do ads. We're going to do that. So you can also use your page to kind of display some of your skills, whether it's, you know, graphic design, running ads on your own page, whatever it is. But yeah, I would say that's, maybe you could do it without it, but it's an easy enough thing to set up, just to give yourself some visibility and some way to direct a prospect if they're looking for something from you.
Yep. And if you guys don't have a business page, guys, and you guys are using your personal profile, please do yourself and do everybody else a favor and clean it up. All right. If your picture is some kind of cartoon character and that's the profile you're using to reach out to these people, it's a very laughable situation. It's going to end up in no closing for you. So clean up your Facebook page, go on the ClickFunnels website, try to find people who are actually actively have running agencies, who have, companies that they actually run from their Facebook, because it's a medium of exchange of information. And when they see that, when they see your name, they're going to go research you on Facebook and they will see your profile. They will see your statuses. They'll be able to see all your posts. Clean it up. Because now you have to come into the mind of a business owner when you guys are going out there to attract other business owners. This is a B2B, meaning business to business. So make sure you clean all of that up, all right, if you want to increase your chances for a close. All right, so next thing we have on here is Lisa says, I get the impression that Jim is a man of his word. I 100% agree. Jerry says, thank you for the awesome answers. It really means a lot. This is from Jerry. And Jim says, thank you. Says you have a lot to be relatable. I love that, Jim. This is Debbie. Thank you, Debbie, for sharing. Lewis says, is there any deal on this program for newbies? Jim, I think you'd be perfect to answer that one. Oh, wait, sorry. He said deals. So no, there's no current deals. The best deal right now is that you're getting a free course that Kevin is giving right now, Luis. So I want you to go ahead and click the link in the title or description of wherever you're watching the live. Click it. It's going to take you to your messenger, right? Your Facebook Messenger, and you follow the instructions. Literally got to click one button. It's going to give you a free course on Udemy, and it's going to be the course that's going to walk you through. For those of you guys who don't know, I believe it's the map course that he's giving away for free now. So take advantage, because it's normally $37. Take advantage of it now so you guys can enjoy it and learn from it. It's actually put down there in the link by our Marketer Magic crew. The customer service folks are in here as well. So click the link and make sure you sign up. And then you can get Marketer Magic when you're ready to go out there and get clients, right? You get 7-day free trial, enjoy it and use it 100% during the free trial to see if it's something that's up your alley, okay? Lisa says, nice job starting out with an ad for that lady. It actually led to 200 plus leads, 2K retargeting. Nice job, Jim.
Thank you, Lisa.
Ibrahim says, got this. Yes, man. I love that energy. Everybody's saying we're asking for more hearts. Please go ahead and drop it down there, guys. Jim, what's your favorite Marketer Magic product and why? I know we talked about it a few times.
It's going to be many leads just because that's going to generate your revenue. I mean, so that's it. I mean, I love Mini-Me just because it's cool, but many leads is what you need.
Many leads is like the meat in my quarter pounder. Like that's
everything.
That's what it is, Next person says, Jim, could you please say your opening script when you first approach a new customer? Oh, nice, good question, Lisa.
So if we're talking email, Lisa, my opening script is the same as it was day one when I started. It's Kevin David's script in the MAP program. I just customized it to mine. So it's essentially, hey, so-and-so, my name is Jim. I run a, okay, sorry. All right, that's fine. I'll go clean it up.
We got literally like 2 more minutes. We were done.
Yeah. So, I've been spent some time on your beautiful website, by the way. But I want to let you know that you might be missing a simple fix that could be costing you a ton of money. I'd be happy to walk you through on how to do this. Might take 15 minutes of your time. Totally free as a courtesy to you. Just wanted to make sure that we're making the best of your website and the opportunities that you have. It's essentially Kevin David's script, just kind of replace some information. And then I try to personalize every email to the prospect. So I'll find something on their business page or their Facebook page and just kind of comment about it.
Nice, man. Awesome. Luis says, I got the full pack. Elijah says, Jim, you're my hero.
Yeah, Elijah, how you doing, man? It's been a while. We'll have to catch up.
Louis says, I got from the full pack. However, the app is paid and money is tight, right? I'm not sure what you mean by full pack, Luis. So maybe you can let me know in the comments after the live is done, so we can probably chat about that if you have more questions about it. And Lisa has the last few comments. Guys, if you guys haven't already, click to get your free links as we're about to close this right now. Lisa says, awesome. Thanks, Jim. She says, okay, cool. And thank you again. So guys, that's all the questions that we have so far. I hope you guys really enjoyed this live. We go live every Tuesday, 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard, right? We really are doing our best to bring on guests that's going to show you guys the real life walkthrough of what their journey has been, to show you guys what it's like. You can pick their brains, ask questions. We can get your questions answered as well, and ways you can be best, prepared for starting your agency. Jim doesn't have a website. Jim doesn't have, I don't know if you said you have a business page or not, but he
I have a Facebook business page. Yeah,
he's a Facebook business page, but he has no web.
One of the first things I did.
Yep, perfect. So he has that. That was his landing ground for people who were researching him. He had something. He cleaned up his Facebook. He got everything settled and he got started. He didn't worry about LLC. He didn't worry about any of that. So he got that done. Jim had wins. Jim had losses, like everybody will in this game. And he also pivoted perfectly during COVID. He showed you and explained to you exactly how he did that. Now he's had the deal that's 13,000 plus that he's getting paid out for new opportunities and skills that he learned through the MAP program that he's applying in other industries to try to make it profitable for not only him, but also his clients. So Jim is a man of his word, guys. If you guys want to contact Jim for that solar opportunity, for those of you guys who are ready, who've already ready to take on a client, who are maybe interested in the opportunity of running or working with him in that, PM him for questions, ask him about the solar opportunity mentioned on the live. He will help you with that. Somebody asked, can I get the name of your business page or your Facebook page?
Digital Marketing Solutions Unlimited.
Perfect. So Digital Marketing Solutions Unlimited. And if you guys want to reach out to Jim, again, it's Jim Fitzpatrick on Facebook if you want to PM him directly about that. And we'll talk soon. Jim, thank you so much for your time, bro. Everybody's thankful. They're saying great info. Thanks, Jim.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. And I hope everybody's happy, healthy, and stay safe. And, we'll get through this.
Yep. Until next time, guys. So we'll talk to you guys next time. What's going on, buddy? And we'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks a lot, Jim.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Peace.